What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, back when Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness still had Scott Derrickson attached as the director, and the title was announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, there were already a ton of rumors flying about who could show up in this film. We actually had a saying at the channel after we broke so many reports in the 6 months following that if even half the characters that were rumored to show up actually did, then it would be one of the most packed superhero movies of all time. Now here we are 2 years later, Marvel Phase 4 has already gotten really weird, and if the last two trailers are any indication of what's actually in this film, we may have nailed the cameo hype all the way back then. We have a brand new industry insider report coming from one of our favorite anonymous Twitter scoopsters / industry insiders with a great track record, confirming some of the cameos that were rumored again all the way back in 2019 and indicating some brand new ones that we haven't heard about at all. We're breaking down this latest rumor for who's going to show up in the Multiverse of Madness, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s every 20,000 subscribers, all the way up to 1 million. We are right around the corner from the next giveaway. If you want to be entered to win, or if you like daily Marvel content, all you have to do, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So it's been a while, but the normal spoiler warning we issue here at the channel, the normal disclaimer, remember to take everything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt. The rumor mill has been in full force for the last 6 months to a year, as if it really hasn't been around since Infinity War. But if this sort of thing is going to ruin the experience for you at all, if any of these rumors end up becoming true, if this industry insider nails these, if you're susceptible to that kind of thing and it's going to ruin your Doctor Strange experience, only you know, and I ain't mad at you. But back out now, come back and see us after you see the film. We'll still be here. Now, this is coming from My Time to Shine Hello, the anonymous Twitter scoopster who has definitely cemented himself as one of the most trusted industry insiders. He nailed a ton of things about Spider-Man No Way Home, which is why we're giving him a lot more reverence now, even though he's still anonymous. Here is his brand new update for confirmations of cameos in the film. It starts with Professor X, Captain Carter, and Captain Marvel. Obviously, Professor X played by Patrick Stewart, Captain Carter played by Haley Atwell. That would be the live-action Captain Carter we previously saw in What If. The next one is Captain Marvel, not Brie Larson, rather Lashana Lynch, who we already met in the first Captain Marvel movie. Some people have already speculated that that's who we actually saw in the trailer. My verdict is still out on this one. Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski. I swear, at this point, if it's anybody but John Krasinski, I think that's going to be more interesting to see how the fans react. He's been fan cast for so long via concept art. I'm not sure it's anybody else at this point, but not a previous returning version. Black Bolt, Anson Mount, we had already heard he was returning from the TV shows. This is where the list gets a little weird. Clea, except it's Charlize Theron. Now, the original report of Charlize Theron speaking to Marvel Studios got out there. They had spoken to her as they do with many high-name, high-profile actors, although it was revealed that something didn't work out. It was for this role, but it didn't work out. Here it is listed that she's actually going to play her. Now, I'm not confirming this at all. I'm literally going off what this industry insider is saying, but the fact that this was previously reported and over a year ago gives me pause and makes me think if there's not something to it. Now, the next two cameos are Boulder the Brave and Magneto, but they don't have any actors listed. I think that's super interesting because I'd like to think some of these characters, like John Krasinski, Mr. Fantastic, are going to stick around in the MCU. So could it be Magneto is not one of the returning versions from the X-Men we've already seen, but rather a brand new cast that would stick around and actually bring mutants over into the MCU. Baldur the Brave is equally as interesting with no actor attached. There was a previous rumor that Bruce Campbell, longtime actor in a lot of Sam Raimi movies, was going to play this role, and this is actually the official concept art all the way back from Thor Dark World where they were going to use this character. Now, regardless if he's playing this character, I would also like to mention, I think there's a good chance that Bruce Campbell shows up in this film. He shows up in a lot of Sam Raimi films. It would be awesome to have him. I have my fingers crossed. He's playing a named character, but I would take a quick cameo all the same. He then followed up this tweet, he, not Sam Raimi, referring to My Time to Shine Hello, and added that he can also confirm Deadpool, as if Ryan Reynolds' grin and really bad denial the other day didn't confirm it as well, but also added maybe some of his friends, and then an Iron quote something variant. An Iron quote something variant. I think that's interesting because I don't think he's talking about Iron Man here. He would have just said it. Obviously absent from this list is an Iron Man variant, or Hugh Jackman Wolverine, or Ghost Rider, or some of the other cameos that we've either heard or have been debunked or have been floating around for a long time. But there are two other Marvel characters that have Iron in the subtitle that aren't Iron Man. Number one, Iron Lad. I've seen it speculated in the last 48 hours in several places that Iron Lad, what we're actually seeing is Jonathan Majors in this trailer, a variant of Kang in his origin story. That would work from the comics, I'm just not sure that's it. There's also Iron Monger, and the only reason I bring that up is we heard we may see Obadiah Stane's son in the future of the MCU in Armor Wars. There's actually a rumor that it might be played by Justin Timberlake. I don't think I reported on that at the channel because I couldn't find any firm confirmation or a valid source. And I also think I just didn't want it to be true that Justin Timberlake may be entering the MCU, but Obadiah Stane returning in the face of what's going on with Stark Industries right now, the holdover from what happened with Spider-Man No Way Home, and Happy withholding some of the equipment, and I think that's going to lead directly into Armor Wars as the government starts to try to figure out where all of that is. It's going to be left to Rhodey to round it up. Regardless of who we do and don't see in this film, Marvel Studios has always stood by not doing characters for the sake of it, and I think it's a valid question why all of a sudden in a film like Multiverse of Madness, where they have so much left to explain what's happened here in the first part of Phase 4, and so much left to set up for the rest of the phase and phases to come, they would start cramming all of these cameos in the film. If you guys want my honest opinion, I think it's because most of them are going to be ultra expensive cannon fodder. You can't have a supervillain like Wanda go through a bunch of heroes if you need those heroes in the future of the MCU. Yeah, it's nice to have high stakes, but it's also nice to be able to, well, have some expensive cannon fodder as well. And I think that this works perfectly only because a lot of the castings weren't going to go into the MCU. The old existing X-Men who had played the roles forever, already been in a trilogy or so, we're going to need new versions of those characters. In the meantime, and while we're recanonizing them, I think Marvel sees a real opportunity here to show off Wanda's power level, and what better way to do it than have her cross over against all of these characters, some of which, say like Boulder the Brave, who might not have had a place in the MCU going forward since he wasn't used in Thor the Dark World anyway. I have no problem at all with them doing this. I just wonder if it's not going to get a little weird if one of these versions of the characters we get doesn't end up being the character going forward in the MCU, and it either has fans confused and or upset. Say John Krasinski shows up as Reed Richards, but only for this film. He's not the MCU's Reed Richards, how fans will be upset, or if Hugh Jackman Wolverine shows up and absolutely kills it, how much we'll just want that in the face who's ever cast. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to carry the mantle and the role, which I said Marvel Studios wanted to let breathe, but hey, shows you what I know. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below quickly. Let's jump into the giveaway stuff again before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away a ton of PlayStations, and it's super simple. All you have to do to be entered to win, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of the videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And I have to thank each and every one of you who have helped push my song Make It Entrance to go viral on Spotify. I cannot thank you enough. Thanks for checking that out. Thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.